welcome to Round Robin. I'm your host, Robin McCormick with the City of Hampton. And today, even though it might seem the wrong time of year, we're going to talk about back to school immunizations because we want you to plan early. My guest is from the Health Department, Ryan Storrs. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
We usually think about this, the last week in August. It's a panic. But you guys want us to plan ahead and think about what our kids need health-wise before they start school.
Yes. Vaccines are very important to your kids and the community. Vaccines protect us from certain diseases, illnesses, as well as prevent outbreaks and protect the community as well. We encourage parents to come and get their children's vaccines as soon as they are age appropriate. Children between the age of 4 and 6 and 11 and 12 are required to get vaccines per the CDC guidelines. Vaccines that are required for kindergarten, which are again for children 4 to 6.
So I'm just going to interrupt for a second. So if you're starting preschool, because almost all kids now do preschool,
Right.
4-year-old preschool, do they have to have the vaccines for that?
Yes.
That's what I thought. And so people who maybe are used to not getting on board as quickly have to get on board a little sooner
Yes.
because the preschool is now the norm, let's
It
say.
is the norm. They're required to have 5 doses of DTaP, 4 doses of polio.
What go slow? DTaP is?
DTaP, tetanus,
and diphtheria. Okay.
Polio. They are also required to have 3 doses of hepatitis B to protect their liver. Chickenpox, 2 doses, and measles, mumps, and rubella, 2 doses. Children that are starting school before the age of 5 are required to have a dose of pneumonia vaccine and a dose of Hib, which is the meningitis for little children.
Now, this is a lot. It's a lot more than was around when I was a kid. But also, a lot of these diseases, some parents might not take it seriously because a lot of these diseases have been primarily eradicated. You don't have a lot of cases, I was going to say of whooping cough, but that's one that's actually, there have been some flare-ups and some outbreaks, right?
Yes. So it's very important that parents bring their children to get immunized.
Let me ask you a question. I'm just going to play devil's advocate, and I know the right answer, but so I'm a parent, and I think I want to reduce the risk for my kid of an adverse reaction. So I'm not going to vaccinate my kid because I know the kids they're around will be vaccinated, which will keep my kids safe. What is the fallacy in that thinking?
It's not a very good thinking at all because that not only protects your child, it doesn't protect children around you. It doesn't protect our family or friends. There's some children with chronic illnesses that are not able to get vaccines. So that's why we all need to protect ourselves to protect all the children.
And there's this concern about the super young kids who are too young for vaccines
Exactly.
being more vulnerable. And if everybody thought that way, I don't have to protect my kid because you'll do your part, then we would have potential epidemics and outbreaks again.
We definitely will. Those diseases will come back. That's why we don't see them because there are vaccines for them. They're the same vaccines that I got, my parents got, they're the same vaccines. There's no difference. So vaccines don't cause autism. They don't know what it does.
I think that's one of those persistent myths that's having a really hard time dying. But the scientific research shows that it doesn't. But what has happened is it's not a causal relationship, but it happens around the same time. A lot of times autism emerges about the same time that the vaccine schedule is. It's in that 2-year mark, 3-year mark. And so people have created a connection in their minds that has not been scientifically validated. In fact, science suggests it's not there.
Yes, and we do a lot of parent education. So if they do have questions, we have materials about the different vaccines. They can ask us, they can read up on it. There's lots of articles out there that's, saying what you're saying, that it does not cause autism. We have many teaching materials about that. And the vaccines that I did mention earlier that are required for before preschool or kindergarten, some of those do come in combinations, so they're not getting all of those
Yeah,
vaccines.
a single shot for every,
Exactly.
yeah, right.
Exactly.
And, most kids are, maybe they feel a little bit bad for a little while, but it's not like, even chickenpox, which I had as a kid, it was long before the vaccine. I had it fairly mild, but it isn't always mild. And these things can affect, again, I think my youngest child had chickenpox before the vaccine was, like at age 9 months. And it's really scary. It can be really scary when little ones get it, and it can be much more serious. And that's part of who we're trying to protect by getting the vaccines for the older kids when they're old enough. So how can people get shots? And I know a lot of people have private health insurance and take the kids, which they should, to the doctor for those scheduled checkups. If we don't have insurance or don't have a family physician, what are the options at the health department?
Well, at the health department, we encourage parents to take their children to their primary care provider to get vaccines, and as well as the well child checkups.
Which are really important.
For people that move here or don't have a private provider, can't get an appointment, we do offer the vaccines. All we encourage is for parents to bring an up-to-date shot record, which is very important. Vaccines that are required for Virginia school entry will be free of charge. The vaccines that are recommended, like the Hep A, flu, that are recommended, there may be a fee involved.
But you cover the basics.
Yes.
And, that's true. Parents need to have that shot record, because if you don't have the one primary care physician that your kid goes to all the time, you can trust that person. But if you're in the military, if you move a lot, if you, don't have that one stable doctor, if that doctor leaves, you've got to have those records. Now, the other thing is, Ryan, people think maybe, okay, I know that when my kid starts school, he or she needs X, Y, and Z. We forget about the middle school.
Yes.
There's another round that the big kids need, right? When is that?
Normally between age 11 and 12. There's some 10-year-olds that are going into the 6th grade. They are required to have the Tdap vaccine, which is the whooping cough. That could be very serious if a small infant would get that. Also, we recommend at that age them to get 2 doses of the HPV vaccine, which prevents certain kinds of cancer.
Okay, now, until that is
human papillomavirus.
Okay.
Yes. And the meningococcal, which protects children against meningitis, which can be a very serious disease.
Yes. Okay. So that is all before middle school.
That is all before middle school.
Okay. That's hard to remember. Is this on your website somewhere?
It is on our website. We are in constant contact with the school nurses, so they know what they need. So we get them in there at that age between 10 to 12, get them vaccinated. Also, we use that opportunity to catch them up on vaccines that they might not have caught throughout their childhood, so we make sure they're all caught up as well.
Okay. Any other tips or reminders you want to give before we close?
Yes, definitely bring a shot record up to date. If you can't find a shot record, you can always contact your doctor, clinics, the local health department, or schools also have the shot record.
Yeah, because you have to show it to the school before it's not just you have to have the shots, you have to prove they have the shots. So if you've given it to a school in the past, you can get it back.
Yes.
You can go to a doctor. But just it's not good to show up at the doctor and ask for it. You really should call ahead and have them print it out and then go pick it up.
Yes. And also, we have, the kids are very anxious when they come in to give shots. We want to encourage the parents to be very supportive and honest with the child. Tell them what's going to be happening. Children do much better if you tell them the truth that they're getting shots, or you lie to them, or it's a surprise.
Yeah, if you're like, no, it's not going to hurt. That's
exactly.
Oh, yeah, right. I see that needle coming. You know it is.
And the nurses.
So yes, it's going to hurt, but only for a minute.
And as nurses, we administer the shots very quickly. We use distraction techniques, holding techniques to reduce the anxiety of the child. And children are often very surprised that it didn't hurt that bad. It wasn't as bad as they thought it was going to be. So,
Okay. Well, thank you so much for
you're
coming by,
welcome.
Ryan.
Thank you.
And thank you for watching. I hope you will get started early before your child is ready to head back to school. Try to stay in sync with the vaccines, but if you get behind, you've got a little time to catch up. And remember, even if you've been getting your vaccines on a regular basis, you still need that shot record before you can register your child for school, or at least before he can show up the first day. Thanks for watching.